He had no home, no money, and no future, just a dream. Sleeping on subway floors, selling his own blood for a few dollars, and raising a baby all by himself. Yet, just years later, that same man was standing on Wall Street, running a company worth over $100 million. This is the real-life story of Chris Gardner, the man who proved that pain can become power and that a single decision can completely change your destiny. In the early 1980s, Chris Gardner had officially hit rock bottom. He was broke, homeless, and left to care for his infant son after his girlfriend walked out. With no college degree and zero connections, Chris spent his days wandering the streets of San Francisco, desperately trying to sell bulky, outdated medical equipment just to earn enough to survive another day. When night fell, he and his son would search for a spot in a shelter. When they couldn't find one, they slept wherever they couldn't park benches, in bus stations, and sometimes even in the locked public restrooms of a subway station. It was a life of constant struggle, a relentless grind that would have broken most people. But deep inside, buried under all the hardship, Chris held on to a quiet belief. He just knew he was meant for something more. He felt it in his bones. Then, one ordinary afternoon, his life changed forever. While waiting outside an office building, Chris saw a man step out of a shiny, bright red Ferrari. The sight was so striking, so far removed from his own reality, that he felt compelled to act. He walked up to the man and asked a simple question: "What do you do for a living?" The man, looking at this curious stranger, smiled and replied, "I'm a stockbroker." That single sentence ignited a spark in Chris's mind. A stockbroker. He didn't know the first thing about stocks, finance, or Wall Street. But in that instant, he knew that was the world he wanted to be a part of. That was his way out. Fueled by this newfound purpose, Chris, with no formal education, started applying for stockbroker internship programs. As you can imagine, he was met with rejection after rejection. Who would take a chance on a homeless man with no experience? But he refused to give up. Finally, one firm, Dean Witter Reynolds, saw something in his eyes, in his raw determination, and gave him a chance. There was just one huge catch. The internship was unpaid. There was no salary, no safety net, nothing. He was still homeless, but now he was working 10 to 12-hour days, making hundreds of cold calls, trying to land clients for the firm. By day, he was a relentless intern. By night, he was a single father, studying thick finance textbooks by the dim light of the subway station, all while caring for his son. He lived by a simple but powerful mantra. One he repeated to his son: "Do one ever let someone tell you you could undo something." After months of this grueling, relentless effort, the moment of truth arrived. Chris sat for his stockbroker licensing exam, one of the toughest and most competitive exams in the entire industry. He passed. His hard work had paid off. He was officially a stockbroker. He soon landed a job at the prestigious firm Bear Stearns & Co., and his talent for the business was immediately clear. Within just a few years, he had not only succeeded, but excelled, saving up enough to start his very own firm, Gardner Rich & Co. From the cold floor of a public restroom to a multi-million-dollar office with a skyline view, Chris Gardner's life had become the absolute definition of a comeback. But Chris Gardner's story isn't just about money, it's about mindset. It's a powerful lesson in human potential. He proved that your background doesn't define your future. Your persistence does. He showed the world that circumstance is temporary, but character is permanent. So, the next time life knocks you down, when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, remember the man who was sleeping on a bathroom floor with his son. Remember that he turned that very rock bottom into the foundation for a skyscraper of success. Thank you for watching. If Chris Gardner's story inspired you, hit that subscribe button and join us here on Weirdly Rich, where we uncover the unbelievable true stories of people who turn nothing into everything. Because sometimes the richest lives come from the weirdest beginnings. We'll see you in the next video.